Thank you for joining us to talk about how to help your patients preserve their vocal legacy through voice banking in the event of voice modification or loss. This tutorial will address the benefits of voice banking a vocal legacy, guide you through the process, and let you hear vocal legacy samples. We're happy to share the slides with you. Just email your request to hello@vocalid.co. Our voices are not identical. They are uniquely our own. When diagnosed with head and neck cancer or a progressive speech disorder like ALS, MS, MSA, or Parkinson's, voice preservation with VocalID lets the patient take control of their vocal future when so much seems uncertain. Voice banking should be brought into the conversation as close to diagnosis as possible so that there is enough time to voice bank before natural speech has been affected. Beginning the conversation early gives patients time to embrace the opportunity to voice bank, as prognosis can take a while to reveal its final effects on speech. Think of voice banking as a safety net in the event of voice modification or loss. Voice banking can be very empowering and help positively affect the patient's feeling of control pre-surgery and improve their post-surgery outcome. For laryngectomies and/or glossectomies, adding voice banking to their treatment plan allows patients to speak in their own voice immediately after surgery, during recovery, and in partnership with other post-surgical treatment plans such as an electrolarynx, TEP, and esophageal speech. Their ability to use their voice on My VocalID is immediate. A vocal legacy may be covered by insurance under the HCPCS code E2511, and for veterans, their VocalID is fully covered if prescribed by their clinician. Lonnie Blanchard, who had a full glossectomy, said,
"When I'm going to speak to someone, instead of them hearing, well, here comes computer lawn again, they're going to be actually kind of like hearing what I used to sound like, which is, I think, great technology. It's given me physically something to do for the future to overcome this."
It's important to help patients understand that voice banking is done from the comfort of their own home and can be spread out over a series of days. If your patient doesn't need a vocal legacy in the long run, their recordings may help someone else living with speechlessness who requires a bespoke voice. Because it's a synthesized voice, encourage patients to go to our website to listen to some of the vocal legacy samples. This helps inform them and set expectation of what a digital voice sounds like. Let's take a listen to a few examples.
They walked along listening to the singing.
They walked along listening to the singing.
He was so happy that he hugged them all.
He was so happy that he hugged them all.
I always like to help anyone in trouble.
I always like to help anyone in trouble.
So how do you begin the process of helping your patient preserve and bank their voice? First and foremost, they will need access to a computer or laptop. Voice banking cannot be done on a handheld device at this time. They'll need access to Google Chrome and a headset with an external microphone. We recommend the Turtle Beach Recon 50. It's important that they voice bank in a very quiet space, as any additional noise gets built into the voice, so no background noise. This includes people talking in low voices, air conditioners, fans, refrigerators, dogs barking, cats meowing, or traffic sounds. Encourage them to record their voice in the same place each time. Acoustic consistency also helps build a better voice. Patients are most likely to embrace voice banking if a clinician helps them set up their vocal legacy account at the office. It helps them experience the process in a supported environment. If they have a laptop, ask them to bring it to their appointment so that you can start voice banking on their computer. Begin by going to vocalid.co via Google Chrome and click on Start Recording in the upper right corner. They'll be asked to enter in their information and to specify their role. They should select I want to receive a vocal legacy voice, since they are preserving and sharing their voice for potential future use. Then choose Create My Account. The second step is to guide them through filling in their profile. This provides VocalID with crucial information to the voice building process. If they speak a second language, it's important to include it here in case it affects their accent. Now they are ready to audition. This too can be done from your office if the environment is quiet, as it gives you a chance to troubleshoot and answer their questions in person. We ask everyone to audition to make sure that the recording conditions are adequate. We know that time is precious, and we want to make sure that we capture their best voice. Sometimes there won't be a second chance, so it's important to do it right. We also help ensure that their recording environment hasn't changed by guiding the voice banker through the calibration process each time they are ready to voice bank. Make sure to allow VocaliD access to their microphone when prompted. Otherwise, we won't be able to hear them. A quick way to verify that Google Chrome is recognizing the external microphone is to check the address bar to make sure that you see the video camera. If you click on it, it will say, "Continue allowing VocaliD access to your microphone." This is good. We want that. If your patient is using a PC to voice bank, they may need to connect their headphone to their computer with a USB connector for better sound capture. Once calibration has been completed, the patient is asked to enter in their reading preferences and their reading level. We'll then confirm that all the information is correct. They can always change their story preferences at any time by clicking on their profile from inside the voice bank and selecting Story Preferences. Now they are ready to begin the audition. The audition is made up of a series of short sentences. They should read aloud naturally and at a comfortable pace, not too slow, too fast, too monotone, or too animated. Further, they should read the sentences exactly as they see them. The recording controls are at the bottom right of the recording studio and correspond to the arrows on the keyboard. Once they have finished auditioning, it's sent to the VocaliD team for review and feedback. They will receive an email from us with feedback. If we need a retake, we may just need small adjustments to improve the recording quality. Encourage them to try again and remind them that the sound of their recordings affects the voice we can build. Once their audition has been approved, they are ready to begin voice banking. They can log back into their account using Google Chrome and click on the Legacy Studio button. Now they can read their first story. The more sentences they read, the better the voice we can build. We encourage everyone to read at least 2,000 sentences, but more than 3,500 is unnecessary. Further, encourage them to hit play every 10 sentences to take a listen. What is in the recordings will make it into the digital voice. That means any extra noises impact the quality of the voice. Once their vocal legacy has been built, they'll be able to download it directly from their dashboard. A vocal legacy is currently available for $1,499. A vocal legacy may be reimbursed through HCPCS code E2511 as a speech-generating voice prosthesis. They will need an order from their clinician. Their vocal legacy can be used with our text-to-speech app MyVocalID and other text-to-speech apps and devices. Val had a glossectomy. After the stress of surgery, he wasn't convinced MyVocalID was for him. It took him about 10 days to embrace his digital voice, but now loves it and uses it everywhere. He says, "With voice banking, my voice will come to life again after the surgery, thanks to VocalID." We are glad you are helping your patients preserve and bank their vocal legacy. We hope they'll never need it, but if they do, we'll have kept it safe. Bank your own voice to understand the user experience. And feel free to share these slides with your fellow clinicians and team members. We'd like to share one more perspective with you. Here's John Gregoire, an ALS patient who knows the importance of voice banking.
I remember how easy it was chatting with Linda. That's what I miss most, just chatting for hours. The worst thing about ALS is the loss of control. Get your voice saved right away. It's an important exercise, but it also puts you in a positive, proactive frame of mind.
We hope that you'll join your fellow clinicians in our Facebook group. It's an opportunity to share your ideas about how to best help your patients preserve their voice through voice banking.